RIMS is global. Discover why 10,000 of your peers in more than 60 countries are part of the world's largest risk management community. Visit rims.org/membership to find the best membership for you and your organization. Coming to you from RIMS headquarters in New York, this is RIMScast, the official podcast of the Risk and Insurance Management Society. I am Justin Smulison, Business Content Manager here at RIMS and your proud RIMScast host. This is episode 394. We are delighted to welcome back to RIMScast our friend and AMRAE President, François Beaume. He's here to discuss the findings of the 2026 AMRAE RMIS Panorama. So we'll talk all about emerging trends. But first, let's talk about some virtual workshops. The next RIMS-CRMP Fed exam prep with a firm will be held June 16th and 17th. And the next RIMS-CRMP exam prep with Parima will be held virtually July 21st and 22nd. Links to registration are on this episode's notes. Folks, you can enroll now in the RIMS CRO Certificate Program in Advanced Enterprise Risk Management hosted by the famous James Lam. Beginning July 15th, workshops will be held bi-weekly from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. A link to registration is on this episode's show notes. Speaking of ERM, the RIMS ERM Conference 2026 will be held November 19th and 20th in Columbus, Ohio. We want to hear from you. Submit a session proposal by June 19th that will reach engaged practitioners, innovators, and leaders looking for guidance they can utilize right away. Help define what's next for enterprise risk management. Submit a session proposal by Friday, June 19th. A link is on this episode's notes. And there's an exciting development I want to tell you all about. Through the generosity of its industry partners, RIMS has launched the Foundation for Risk Management, which provides scholarships for early career professionals to attend RIMS events like the RIMS Texas Regional Conference, RIMS Canada Conference, and RISKWORLD. The foundation also helps beneficiaries earn their RIMS CRMP and fund research projects. To learn more or contribute to the foundation, visit rims.org/FRM and visit the link on this episode's show notes. Folks, RIMS is back on YouTube. Our handle is at RIMS Official Channel. We've got plenty of videos there, including RIMScast, RIMScast Canada video podcasts, and other informative and entertaining content from RIMS. Subscribe to the channel today. We have more plugs later. Let's get on with the show. Our guest today is making his third appearance here on RIMScast. He is the Senior Vice President for Risks and Insurance at Sonepar, and he is the President of AMRAE, the Association for the Management of Risks and Insurance in Enterprises. François Beaume is here to discuss the 2026 RMIS Panorama, published by AMRAE in partnership with EY. The Panorama is free and publicly available and provides an in-depth look at the organizations and professionals who are using risk management information systems, how well they've adapted, and guidance for those seeking their first or newest framework. It's always great to speak with them. Let's get to it. François Beaume, welcome back to RIMScast.
So it will be a year today that I am the AMRAE chairman, and I have a mandate that will last 2 more years. But I am involved in the association since maybe 20 years at various roles.
Right. So you wear 2 hats, and you have multiple responsibilities. And you are one of the faces of AMRAE, and that's why it's important to have you on the show. So let's talk about this year's Panorama, because there was a noticeable difference between last year and this year. Last year, AI felt like an emerging capability, but in this year's report, we see a 20-point jump in planned or actual AI integration and an 8-point increase in functional coverage. At the same time, people aren't always happy with AI. The satisfaction part is still a little bit behind. Are we entering a phase where expectations are outpacing execution?
Yes, probably.
Why is that?
I think that's, let's say, normal. AI has moved faster in people's minds, and especially in CEOs and leaders' minds, than in the organization on a day-to-day basis. Everyone wants it, but data, governance, and also skills upskilling the workforce, the users, either internally or on the client side, is taking time. So the ambition is there, definitely. It was already there last year, let's say maybe 2 years ago. But the plumbing, if I can say it like that, is still catching up. Yeah. And that's what is reflecting in the RMIS Panorama deep dive on AI.
Now, on a slightly more individual note, do you personally use AI, or does it help you with your work in some ways?
Yeah, I use it all day long, I think. Today, for various things, we have. So, as a risk manager, I am using it to increase my efficiency, my productivity on a daily basis, but also but that's quite common in terms of usage. I think it's the same usage in sales or whatever other processes. But it's also allowing me to have better analysis, faster and better analysis. For instance, today you have the Middle East crisis. We have built up an AI agent that is pre-producing the watch for us on a daily basis. You watch your crisis watch packed from trusted sources with a similar format each day. Something that before I was doing myself or somebody from my team was doing entirely manually. It was taking a long time, and now it's taking very few time, and you have the time to dive in it, to understand it, to complement it, and let's say in half an hour you have your status update that is up and ready with quite dense consistency. So that's just an example, but we are using it for our own benefit, but also to better spread the risk management principles throughout the organization through help desk or chatbot that are allowing people that are less skilled in risk management or insurance to raise questions directly in some tools in order to get support. And that kind of tools are able to catch almost 90% of the answers to the questions that are asked by the people, and the remaining 10% are coming to us because they are still in a gray area. So on a daily basis, we are using it more and more, and we are now entering into a phase where we are looking at automatizing some risk management processes. For instance, I have one in mind that is dealing with business partner assessments, which is something that my team is doing. That is a process that is quite cumbersome and complex, with multiple tools, multiple analysis angles. And now we are trying to streamline it, simplify it, still with human in between. The human will be the one deciding ultimately, but the decision will be taken based on AI-driven information set, data set, that will be easier to produce, faster and easier to produce, and ultimately much more reliable. So it is supposed to fluidify the process.
Okay. And let's shift gears a little bit, because the whole thing is not going to be about AI here today on RIMScast. I want to talk about ESG, because I haven't spoken about it on the show in a while. One of the more surprising findings in the panorama is that ESG functional coverage dropped by 15 points this year, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, is that, do you think that that's a sign of stricter evaluation criteria, or is it sort of passé right now, and organizations are approaching ESG differently within a risk management information system?
Yeah, I don't see it as a ESG fatigue. Let's say it like that at all.
You don't think there's fatigue?
No, I don't think so. I think it's more honesty, and people involved in that matter are being thought on what actually counts as the ESG functionality. Before, they were a bit maybe thinking that and that function will really matter. Finally, it's less valuable, so they leave it. And a lot of ESG features have moved out of risk management information systems into dedicated tools, and sometimes into dedicated teams. So in the beginning, some of these features were encapsulated into a risk management information system. It's less and less the case, at least in the tools that are sold in Europe. That's less the case. In the other geographies, it could be a bit more mixed in terms of situation, but that's that's more linked to maturity or topical evolution rather than fatigue or decrease of the importance of the topic.
Okay. And the report also suggests that functional coverage overall has stabilized, which I would say indicates a mature market. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think the maturity is there. All the basics are done. That's a good news, and that's reflected into the panorama. But we have still some. We, meaning the risk managers, the ones because in the study you have the study is composed by 3 surveys: one from the vendors, one from the risk managers, and one from the brokers and insurers. And maturity is reflected by a mix of these studies, but users are mainly on the risk manager side. So users, and they were more than 250, or almost 250 risk managers from 36 countries were replying to the survey. So they were a bit frustrated. This user, not as they want more feature, but they want smarter ones.
Right.
They want better insight, better connections, better decisions. So they want the tool, the RMIS they are using, to be fully part of the corporation, of the firm, of the group,
right.
Way of functioning, which is, as of today, not really the case. These tools, they are still a bit apart, not fully connected with the CRM, with the ERP, with the other tools. That's starting to change, and that's what the study is a bit reflecting, and that's what the users, the risk managers using it, are expecting to come in the next years.
Is it easier for a startup to build from the ground up with their risk management information system embedded in the processes, or is it easier for an established organization?
I think today it's easier than in the past for both. I think it's when you are in a big group, it's for sure a bit more complex because you have to manage legacy systems here and there that you probably don't have in startups. But ultimately, as of today, it's far more easy than 5 years ago. 5 years ago is really long history in that regard.
All right. Let's take a quick break and talk about all the fantastic RIMS events coming up in 2026. The annual Florida Educational Conference will be held July 28th through August 1st, once again at the lovely Ritz-Carlton in Naples, Florida. A link to the event is on this episode's show notes. And you can register now for the second annual RIMS Texas Regional Conference, which will be held August 10th through the 12th at the wonderful Grand Hyatt on the San Antonio Riverwalk. The 11th annual Chicagoland Risk Forum will return to the old post office on Thursday, September 24th. Visit chicagolandriskforum.org for more information. The RIMS Western Regional Conference will be held October 4th through the 7th in Seattle, Washington. Registration is open, and you can also submit a session. Visit rimswesternregional.com and the link on this episode's show notes for more information. And save the dates, October 18th through the 21st. We will be in Quebec City to celebrate the 50th live RIMS Canada Conference. Booth sales are already open, and advance registration will open on June 10th. Visit rimscanadaconference.ca for more information, and also remember to check out rims.org/Canada for our spin-off show, RIMScast Canada, hosted by National Conference Committee Chair Aaron Luconi. And as we said at the top, the RIMS ERM Conference 2026 will be held November 19th and 20th in Columbus, Ohio. The deadline for educational content submissions is Friday, June 19th, so get those submissions in now. The link is on this episode's show notes. Registration opens in July. And now let's return to our interview with François Beaume. And we are back with François Beaume, who we saw at RISKWORLD 2026. Folks, just remember that you can check out his presentation or his materials from his presentation on rims.org/ASC. You will have had to have registered or attended RISKWORLD to check it out. We're here to just continue the dialogue because he was right behind RIMS HQ on Wednesday the 6th, and we couldn't connect there, but we're connecting here right now. And how was your session? Well, how did you feel your session went at RISKWORLD?
I think it went well, but I am not the best place to say that. But there was the place was nice.
Yeah,
it was not that noisy, so people were able to, let's say, to hear everything, I think. And there were maybe 50 to 55 person gathering there to hear. It's not that interactive in terms of session. That's a bit frustrating, but they were listening. They were taking notes. So I think it was, at least for me, it was pleasant to do it.
Good. You do a lot of these, right? You speak on behalf of AMRAE at a lot of different conferences and events. Are you, as a speaker, able to identify when you're connecting with an audience?
Yeah, you have a feeling. Sometimes you are perceiving the fact that you have lost half, a quarter, or maybe the full room. And sometimes you can see that they are following you. The message is passing from me to them. Yeah, that's something that you can feel. Not every time. You have, at least for me, you have also the room configuration that matters. And there, in that one, I was very close to the public. There was, I think, 3 screens, so they were able to see what I was presenting, and they were able to hear it very well. So yeah, they were connected definitely.
Excellent. And then when you have a situation where people maybe are, involved with their phones or they're checking their email and stuff, what do you do to wake them up and get their attention back?
I'm French, so you can try to use humor. Okay. You try, because sometimes you succeeded, sometimes you fail. That's a bit risky, but I am amongst the ones that are trying it. But it's not working every time. I think the most disturbing session I was having was a session when we were in a panel on stage wearing helmets like these ones, and all people in the room were also wearing helmets. So everybody was listening, not translation, because it was so noisy that the organizer decided to equip everybody with helmets. So everybody, even the guy sitting next to me, was wearing helmets. So that was that was disturbing, because the people, they were listening like a podcast. So as you said, they were doing something else,
right?
And the sound was there, and so you were speaking, but you cannot feel if they are getting the message or not. So apart that, usually you are able to react, to rebound, to try to reignite the attention in the room, so that you have some tips, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that experience also in a couple of different walks of life. It is one of those sorts of things where sometimes I lock eyes with somebody who's actually listening, and I can I feel like I just talk to that person, and everyone else will pick up on that energy.
Yeah.
You do that too?
You have to focus.
Yeah. And then when it comes to risk management, it's not the easiest topic to make exciting, right? So you have to figure out ways to jazz it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, but at least if you are convinced that the topic is interesting, that conviction at a certain standpoint will pass through the mic and will go to the room.
Yeah.
If you are not convinced, and if you are there, they will feel it. The public will feel it ultimately.
No, I agree. If you are not genuinely excited to be there and excited to present your information, then the audience is not going to be captivated. I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And after, as I'm French, the public was mainly Americans, so that you have also to manage, and I am speaking English, but like a Frenchman. So you have to manage that also. Sometimes you have doubt that the message is passed, because your language is maybe not the one, your way of phrasing the message is probably not exactly the way they expected. The way an American will phrase it is not the way I am using it. So.
But I've found that when I'm listening to a speaker who's from outside the US and outside of Canada, when they have an accent, it forces me to focus more on what they're saying. And then after
which
a
is
while,
better.
Yeah. And it resonates in a different way. It's a really fascinating phenomena when it comes to linguistics. I don't know. I love talking about this part, because
agree. Me too.
Because you're a very good presenter. I remember being able to at least check out what was going on when you were at RISKWORLD, and the audience seemed engaged. So that's all you can ask for. My feeling is if one person walks away with something actionable to take home, then everything was worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly. Mission accomplished. At least one with something that's something.
We will take one more quick break. I want to tell you about the openings and the deadlines for various Spencer Educational Foundation grants. The Risk Manager on Campus application period is now open, and it will close on June 30th. Grant awardees, colleges and universities are typically notified in September. Now let's talk about course development grants. The application deadline for interval number 2 will be on June 15th, 2026, and award notifications will be sent out in late July. General grants are open, and the application deadline is July 30th. And internship grant applications open on August 15th and close on October 15th. Links to each of these grants are on this episode's show notes. And of course, you can visit spencered.org for more information. And the Spencer 2026 Funding Their Future Gala will be held Thursday, September 17th from 6:30 to 10 p.m. at a different venue this year. We will be at the fabulous Waldorf Astoria in New York City. Sponsorship opportunities and benefits are available now. A link to the Funding Their Future Gala is on this episode's show notes. Speaking of Spencer, next week's guest is Funding Their Future Gala honoree Mariah Propus. More Spencer celebrities and board members will be making appearances on RIMScast this summer as well. And let's conclude our interview with François Beaume. Let's get back to the panorama for a moment, because we got a couple more data points that I wanted to highlight for the audience and pick your brain about. The panorama notes an increase in organizations with more than 200 RIMS users, but does that signal that RIMS is finally becoming an enterprise-wide infrastructure, or is it still a niche tool for risk teams?
Yeah, I think that's really this is a big signal. I think that's really positive. Risk management information system is not a niche tool, a niche risk tool anymore, let's say. It's slightly becoming part of the company infrastructure. Once you have hundreds of users, expectations are exploding. They are providing you with feedback. So the momentum is there, and then also the patience is dropping. So the user patience is dropping as the tool starts to become a bit more massive and interconnected with other tools. You have to manage expectations in a different manner, but that's positive. That's positive for your tool, and that's also probably due to the fact that the scope of usage of these tools is widening. You have not only niche risk usage, you have risk management, you have sometimes internal audit, internal control, insurance, pieces of compliance, etc., that are managed inside the tool. So that's allow you as a master of the tool, if we can say it like that, to reach other levels of development, and then the momentum is self-generated, let's say.
Excellent.
And you have other issues, but that's interesting.
So compared to last year and years prior, we're seeing more involvement from information technology officers, chief financial officers, and executive leaders in RIMS selection and decision making. So how positive of a trend is that for you through the AMRAE lens?
Yeah, executive involvement in risk management information system usage is definitely something positive. This means that RIMS, RMIS, are moving into the governance space, which is good. But executives of that kind, they don't want dashboards for dashboards.
Right.
They want clarity. They want to know what matters, why it matters, and what can we do next. So if you are able to provide, so they will not maybe go into the deep insight of the tool. They will maybe sometimes not go in the tool at all, but they will use or analyze or get dashboards that will be produced, extracted from the tool. So without the tool, you don't have the dashboard. So finally, they are users also of the tool. So overall, I think the risk management information systems, they have grown up, and growing up is always a little uncomfortable sometimes. So you have to manage that growth, that growth momentum. But now we collectively are at a moment that allows us to think about other developments. We have reached that place due to the collective involvement in making this tool live, but also due to the progress of the techniques. Data mining, SaaS contract, AI usage, all of that has contributed to render RMIS much more easy to deploy, easy to connect, and then easy also to access to in order to either load data, analyze them, extract them. So now is the time of wider usage of risk management information system. Once they have been adopted, they are there for life, and then you have to make them evolve. So this means that now we have more and more discussions inside the corporations on risk management information system evolutions, replacement, because maybe my historical tool that I implemented in 2016 starts to be a bit old-fashioned in terms of technology, in terms of look and feel, in terms of many things. Am I able to make it evolve on its own, or is it the time to change? And if yes, what kind of process can I implement to contemplate that change, to manage it? So, and all of that is bringing you to stay at this executive level, because now you have created expectations. You have provided dashboards, KPIs, data, and now you have to manage the recurring production. So this means that once it's done, once the ignition has been made, you are entering into a different momentum in order to run that production on the long run and make it better and better, much more accurate over time, which is not easier than the first step, but that's just different.
François, are you already working on the 2027 panorama?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are with our partner EY. We are finalizing the deployment of the 2026 version.
Mm-hmm.
French translation will be released by mid-June. We will also run some, let's say, explanation sessions, more or less like the one that I run at RIMS, with vendors, with risk managers, with insurers and brokers. So that will allow us to pass summer. But we have already started working on the 2027 panorama, which will be ready for the next RIMS World session. So in New Orleans, you will have the pleasure to have the 2027 release available.
And if somebody who leads an organization wants to participate, what do they need to do in the survey?
They need to contact us. For the risk manager, they will be contacted by the risk management association of the respective country in which they are. They will have also the ability to go through the LinkedIn publication that will be done at that time to say, okay, hello, I am a risk manager. Even if I am not part of any local risk management association, my voice is counting. So they will be able to speak up. And then if you are a vendor, you will be contacted. We are contacting a bit less than 200 vendors. This year it was I think 150 vendors, out of which 55 were replying. So vendors can also come to us and say, okay, hello, I am a vendor in Colombia, and then we add them to the panel. And for the insurers and brokers, it's more us proactively knocking at their door, saying, okay, hello, Mr. Allianz, Aon, or whatever brand, what's your feeling about this tool? So it's not really a survey. It's much more a discussion with them.
Excellent. So anyone who wants to participate, you heard
Feel
François. There's ways to reach out. There's ways to be contacted. You should go through your risk association where you have a membership like RIMS, for example, or FIRMA or FREMA, and and speak to somebody there if you would like to participate, because the more information that we collect from you confidentially helps educate and enlighten the global risk community. So this panorama is very important for us.
Yeah, and maybe two things I forgot to mention. Inside the panorama, the PDF publication, all contact details are also available. So if you want to go that way, you can do it. Right. And as part of the panorama, you have also access to an online platform. The PDF version is a snapshot of what's in the database. But the full database is accessible to anyone in order for me as a risk manager or as a vendor to make my own analysis. I can filter, sort out, or run my analysis as I need it to be inside the real database that is beside the panorama. And that's for free also.
Right. And that's the nice thing. It is complimentary, and you're broadening the horizons of the global risk community by doing so. So I appreciate that very much. And I do miss recording with you in person. So next year, hopefully we get a chance to see each other and have some Cajun food, and we'll just put the mic up and we'll just eat some jambalaya and talk.
We will be more organized. I will take note of that. Yeah.
It'll be great. So I want to thank you again, and please, you're welcome back anytime. Special thanks again to our friend François Beaume for joining us here on RIMScast. We look forward to seeing him at a future RIMS event. And you can visit amrae.fr to access the free and publicly available RMIS Panorama 2026. And now I want to speak about a topic near and dear to my heart, sponsorships. You can sponsor a RIMScast episode either on our publicly facing weekly show, that's this show, or with a dedicated episode. RIMScast has produced special episodes for JB Boda, The Hartford, Alliant, Zurich, Highwire, AXA XL, Prudent Insurance Brokers, High Trust, and Aon. Links to sponsored episodes are on our show notes. RIMScast has a global audience comprised of risk and insurance professionals, legal professionals, students, business leaders, C-suite executives, and more. Let's collaborate and help you reach them. Contact pd@rims.org for more information. Let's talk about RIMS membership, folks. Become a RIMS member and get access to the tools, thought leadership, and network you need to succeed. Visit rims.org/membership or email membershipdept@rims.org for more information. And let's also talk about risk knowledge. This is the RIMS searchable content library that provides relevant information for today's risk professionals. Available materials include RIMS executive reports, survey findings, contributed articles, industry research, benchmarking data, and more. For the best reporting on the profession of risk management, check out Risk Management Magazine. This is the Society's official quarterly digital publication. It is written and published by the best minds in risk management. My name is Justin Smulison, Business Content Manager here at RIMS. Please remember to subscribe to RIMScast on your favorite podcasting app. Email us at content@rims.org. Practice good risk management, stay safe, and thank you again for your continued support.